So annoying.
Yep.
Do you remember this fight? Do you remember a lot
Oh,
of
of course I
moments from
do.
it?
Of course. I remember hitting him and with everything I got and him just being Diego. Look how crazy he is, man. I was like, this guy will not go down, you know? And when they had that cut, I was like, all right, they're going to stop it. Awesome. But they didn't. I'm happy, though. You know, again, like I said, I'm in the history books. I just did UFC Noche, and they did like a whole tribute, a really cool highlight of it. And like, that's what the Mexican fighting spirit is. It's like, this is awesome. And I feel like it's a little bit of that, you know, that Diego Corrales fight. You see that, that where he gets knocked down and comes up. It's like kind of motivation. I feel like we're the MMA version of it. And it's great to be in the history books because of it. And yeah, man, good moment for the career right there.
What's happening with you and the Scrap Packs cardio that you guys were able to just keep going no matter what? I feel like Nate is the same way.
Those guys were the first guys who were really doing the triathlons and running distance. And when I first box sparred them, I was like, I thought I was in shape, but I realized I kind of wasn't. And they were really volume guys. So just training with them did that. And then Jason Manley, do you guys know Jason Manley? He's a little guy, black dude, and he ran for UC Berkeley. And he's like, you want to get in shape, yo? I was like, hell yeah. He was crazy as trash. And he had me doing 400s and 300s. And I felt like there was no sprint harder than a 400. So when I get prepared for fights, like, the first thing I do with my fighters to this day, or what I do, is I do 400s, 200s, 300s, and I do like sometimes 800s. To me, those are like the toughest sprints. Anything over like that is not a sprint, right? You could sprint one whole lap, but if you're like, oh, I sprint, well, you could sprint them too, and you guys can keep the hard pace. You taper down, right?
You're still on the fucking ground. Fucking point guard.
That's the only time I get like my legs are sore, my butt cheeks are sore from running.
The 400s is 2 laps, right?
1 lap. 800 is 2 laps.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll do that too. An 800 for time. You're like, all right, if I can sprint 3 minutes, so if I can get a minute on my 400, you know, I know some guys easily break that. But I tell my fighters, hey, hit under like 20. Don't get that you're doing good. 125 is like you're not really sprinting. You know, you gotta like you need to find the 110, you know, really fast people under that. And that to me that's like the first minute.
A lot of fighters don't understand that you have to sprint in MMA. I can tell. Like I was watching my friend AJ McKee fight this weekend. I could tell, like, man, I could be wrong, but it looked like he hadn't been doing sprints.
Sprints bring out a weakness in you, like nothing else.
Yeah.
I dread it.
It's like it's the worst thing in the week. One day a week. You're like,
what's wrong, Lou? You got hairball from
no,
Colombia?
Damn. Sorry.
Hey, damn.
Excuse me.
What happened down there in Colombia,
Traveling,
Luke?
hey, traveling. But no, that sprinting is the worst. There's nothing worse than it's like scary. You're doing 10, 14, like you're praying for 10.
Oh, hell
yeah. You
yeah.
get 14 sprints, like, just panicking all week. There's nothing like that.
I was excited for sparring.
Takes the man out of you.
I'd be dreading it. I love sparring, but I'd be dreading this. I go there and I just feel that like in the stomach. And honestly, you don't have to even go too long. You know, warm up a mile, like sprint, to a mile, 2 miles of sprints or something, 400s, 100s, 200s and stuff. Because like you're out, like your legs are out, you're done, and you give yourself the proper rest too. Like you do the 400. And then you let your body recover. You don't do a 400 and then like do another one in a minute later because you're not there. You do a 400, you wait 3 minutes, and you're like, oh, I'm back. And then you do it again. You know what I mean? You gotta let yourself charge up. So that's how you get ready to have that. And then later on, you do the sprint jog, and we'll do like intervals of it. But that's how I get ready. I'm like, okay, if I can replicate the first minute of fight, if someone wants to go toe to toe and we want to start pushing, let's do a 400. And then after that, everyone's tired. But you know, in the fight, you're like, after us. You look like you're like not tired, but you're like, oh, God damn, please don't come. Don't come over here.
What?
Don't come over here.
Don't come.
God, everything in wrestling is horrible, dude. Everything in wrestling is, I can't even talk.
But I mean, it's known that you guys have incredible cardio. I mean, Nate Diaz talks about it, and a lot of people obviously watching understand that this guy just can keep going and going. Nick was the same way. Yeah. Did you guys have a lot of sparring sessions where it just kept going for days and you guys, you know, last man leaving the gym?
Yeah, we had sparring sessions, but we kind of like, we'd go long rounds sometimes in grappling and do that. But again, like I'm not training to fight like 40 rounds. You know, I mean, a lot of guys are like, oh, I trained 4 hours today and I sparred, you know, 25 rounds. I was like, well, maybe you didn't spar really hard. You know, like I'm like, let's get in there and let's like, we're gonna go full throttle because that's how you get ready for a fight, right? If you do, oh, I did 4 rounds, you're like tit for tat, you're gonna fight like that. And then when someone comes at you to fight, you're like, I'm not ready for that pace. I train for tit for tat. You know? But if you train for like full throttle, and you go full throttle on someone, and there's like some like at your peak when you're like, you know, I would say with preparation comes confidence. You know? When you're prepared and you look across, and you're like, go 25 minutes full throttle, and I think you'll fall first. Not based on like skill, but just on endure whatever. And I'm gonna push you, and I'm gonna break you, and I'm gonna see who breaks first. You know, and they know it sometimes. So these guys ready to come, they're ready to take whatever. And I think that's like a big weapon. And what's amazing about that is like courage is something you have to have, of course, but like endurance. And endurance is very hard to get, but very easy to get. It's not like this hard science behind it. It's just like you gotta go to the track when you fucking dread it, and you gotta do it. You know what I mean? But it's easy to say, oh, I'm hurt today. I don't want to do that part.
Bear, how many times have you come to yourself?
Like fall apart in the ring?
Yeah.
I mean, when I
You work harder.
well, yeah, I mean, I work
You can
harder.
feel that.
When I feel he's ready to collapse, like Luke put me through some sparring sessions, and I was like, all right. You put me through some sparring
Tell us about this, Luke.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Before you went to Columbia, you said, get in here, let's work.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you gotta chase the good. You gotta chase the energy. When the energy's right. Gilbert and Jake used to come down a lot to AKA, and I would go up there when I would like lack training partners. I knew I needed it. I would go up there to the bay.
Fucking get this one.
The boys, they used to come down. We used to push each other out.
Yeah, I remember being
before
at,
things got too heated.
I remember being like at AKA, and he was like the newer guy. Or like, who's the newer guy from Santa Cruz for AKA? And this is like when Koscheck was there and all those. Jake would take me down there like to get the sparring. Usually I wouldn't go down there, you know, and I kind of learned because I went as far as Josh Thompson ended up fighting him. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't, you know, but like Jake was so good, like sometimes he had to like go other places to get work, you know, and like for me, he whooped my ass every day, so like I didn't have that problem, you know. But anyways, I'd go in there and they have sparring, and like, you know, there was, I think it was like Swig was there at the time, Koscheck, but there was like OGs over there, and then like Luke was new out there, and he was just this wild Taekwondo guy, and he was beating people. And I can't even say like, don't go with him, he's gonna hurt you, and beat people up over there, you know. And then of course he became a champ and one of the best ever, of
That's
course.
your start, Taekwondo?
No, everyone thought I was Taekwondo. I was just crazy.
I swear, that's
No,
what,
I was all jiu-jitsu wrestling based, but I was like,
and he did the inverted
it.
triangle. You'd always hit you'd hit a shot on him, he'd sprawl, and he'd get you in this inverted triangle. And
Wow.
I remember betting on you against Weidman. You beat Weidman, right?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I
the
knew you were gonna win that fight.
Oh, you fucking now,
That's crazy. Everybody does think Luke is a karate kid or a taekwondo kid. That's like the third time I've heard that.
He is though. He is.
Because it's kick.
man, I just like John Con. Goddamn, dude. Like John Con is my guy.
Van Damme weekend, man. That inspired me out here too. WWE and Van Damme. Those are my...
I got a question about y'all cardio. You guys use swimming? Did y'all swim?
Yeah, not a lot, but I was like, I grew up in Santa Ana over here. And when I was young, I was like a lifeguard up here. I don't know how to swim. And my dad did some swimming when he was young in the ocean and that. And yeah, I started swimming and doing that like when I'm injured or more for like recovery and just to stay active and mix it up a little bit. But I wasn't as religious as like Nick and Nate were with it. They do like triathlons and stuff like that. And I've done like 2 of those. Like Nick took me actually one time to do a try for fun. I remember we did like I went to Stockton and like I was like I'm gonna do one.
What was that,
We
dude?
did like crash course like at 1 in the morning, like through the streets of Stockton, showing me how to dismount the bike and everything.
For fun?
Yeah, like I don't know, I was just getting a crash course. Yeah, and I did I wanted to go feel what it was to do the workout. You know, just I was like racing myself to complete it. I did the try for fun, which is like a half triathlon, and you just race the person in front of you. Like there's like a young girl biking. I'm just trying to catch her. She's kicking my ass. And, yeah, it was a good time, but yeah, those things are great. I think they were trendsetters on that, and I think everyone does that. Jake was one of the first vegetarians, and he kind of influenced them to become like pescatarians and all that as well. And I think they're like some of the pioneers. Jake,
Not vegan?
I think they're pescatarian. Like they're pretty damn like, you know, people will be like, oh, I'm vegan, but they eat like not very good. Yeah. They're like pescatarian, meaning they eat like fish and stuff like that, but they still eat mostly clean things. Like they'll eat eggs and everything.
Yeah, my son swears they're vegan, and I tell him because my son's a vegan. I'm like, bro, I've eaten dinner with them before. They're not vegan.
I think they'll go vegan for a little bit, but I would even say like I know they're not like vegan, but you'd be more impressed with their diet than like some guy that says, oh, I'm, you know, you've seen vegetarians who just eat pizza every day, and you're like, you know, they're like kind of fat, and you're like, okay.
I know
I know
Jake eats cheese, right? Jake,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Jake's always eating his cheese.
Yeah, you're not vegan.
No,
I'm a
way.
vegetarian.
Yeah, I bet you are, baby. Me too. I bet you
I don't know what you guys talking about.
Yeah, that's why you go there coughing up hairballs.
Fair enough. I'll be gone for the next couple weeks.
He was with Craig Jones in Colombia for a week, dude. Who knows what they were eating down there?
He was there with you again this time?
This week or a couple weeks ago? I forgot.
I don't know. He's been gone for 4 weeks. That's why we've been missing our co-host.
Yeah, he's been on a long vacation. He had a birthday.
I'm just clearing my throat.